So this is our pre-treatment. This is really the star of the whole Metal Detox line. And I can break it down because I'm a little bit of a science hair geek, but I think just to keep it simple, I would say that I have faced in my career a lot of issues with things like minerals and metals. And I've dealt a lot with clients whose glosses grabbed too dark after a minute, or their hair had a lot of breakage, and sometimes I didn't know why. Here in Massachusetts, we have a lot of issues with water. So what happens when metal gets in the water? Pipes are mostly made of metal, and metal erodes water, so whether the pipes are new or old, there are always going to be particles that get into the hair. So what happens then is, when mixed with an oxidant and hair color, those metal particles, they break the hair down, they dry it out. It's not a good reaction. So Metal Detox will neutralize the metal deposits in the hair, resulting in 87% less breakage and 100% reliable, predictable color results. And so that speaks volumes for me, because I don't like to have to sit there and worry when one of my clients is glossing. I don't like to have to be nervous that I'm going to cause breakage from a lightening service. With Metal Detox, I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So this is sprayed into the hair when dry. So a client comes into the salon, you spray it in the hair, go mix your color. By the time you come back, it's actually all dried and ready to go. It gives the hair almost like a feeling of a beach spray. You just don't want to use more than 20 sprays all over the entire head, and that is like a thick head of long hair. So most people, I'm doing between 10 and 15 sprays. So by the time I come back and my color is mixed, it's like ready to go. So it does not add any extra time. That hair is going to need to sit with the Metal Detox for the duration of the coloring service. And then you shampoo with a dedicated shampoo, and you either use one of two conditioners or you can mix them both together. The client is in love because the hair is literally transformed after one application. And I noticed this. I went to Paris to help with the co-development of this product. I went to Paris and they actually didn't tell us what the product was. They had myself and two other amazing colorists from Brazil and France work together on this, and they just let us play with the product. And from the very first application, I could definitely see a big difference in the quality of the hair. Its shine was totally elevated, and the results of the color services themselves were very predictable. So if I wanted like a 7 golden, I would get a 7 golden. And that says a lot for me, because the hair has irregularity and porosity, no matter if it has metal or not. So I love the fact that I can rely on this for predictable results. I'm gonna adjust this a little bit so you guys can see my doll head. So what I'm gonna do for you now is to demonstrate some French balayage. And this is a technique that I use a lot on my clients in the salon. It's great for brightening up the perimeter of the hair. I'm gonna demonstrate in the front. I've already got the Metal Detox in there, so you can see that it has slightly a sandy feeling to it, but it's not difficult to brush through. If you use this product and you have issues brushing through, you've definitely used too much. So I'm gonna do what I call 3-dimensional balayage. This is great for somebody that wants to brighten up. I'm gonna use my small brush to do some detail work in the front, and then I'll show you a similar application with a larger brush in the back. So I'm gonna start here. Over directing, I've got from the temple to the mastoid sectioned off. I'm gonna over direct this hair back and away from the face. The first thing that I'm gonna do is take a little bead of lightener off of my planchette. I want it to look really neat and tidy, like that. If the brush looks messy, the balayage is gonna be messy. So this is something pretty simple and effective and modern. So I'm just gonna start painting. I like to start my painting like a little bit off. If I want it on the root, I'll start it about 1 inch down. Now when I'm talking about balayage, I refer to zones 1, 2, and 3 of the hair. So zone 1 is near the root, zone 2 is the middle, zone 3 is the end. And balayage gives the hair a sun-kissed look. So sun-kissed looks, really the lightness lives through the surfaces of the hair and also around the frame of the face. So when I'm painting, I'm always focused with the saturation through the ends in zone 3. So I'm painting here, I'm just holding the hair nice and tight, about 45 degrees from the subsection that I'm painting. And as I'm working down the hair, I'm actually dropping elevation back down to where it naturally falls. Now, the only part that I'm fully saturating is the bottom third of the hair. So once I've painted the entire top of the subsection, zone 1, 2, and 3, or sometimes it's just zones 2 and 3, balayage is totally customizable, I will stick the hair to my brush, like there's nothing underneath there, guys. Place it in the center of the planchette, and I just make sure that my saturation is nice and strong right there. And I'm painting with this metal Detox, and it actually helps with the pre-sectioning of the hair because it does give it a little bit of like appliancy that is nice to work with. So I'll put a little piece of 100% cotton batting so the hair doesn't buckle over on itself, and I just let that fall right there. Now I also use plastic wrap. Did that cotton just fall out? That always happens in the salon. So I use plastic wrap to separate those sections. And I place it right there and just gently fold away to protect the skin of the face. Then I'm going to drop my next subsection. Now, if I want a really sunny look, I might paint all of the ends, but what I like to do is I like to leave a little bit of depth falling behind that front hairline because it's the darkness and the depth that really, really makes those highlights pop, and that is the beauty of balayage. So let me tell you a little bit more about my experiences with Metal Detox and introducing my clients to the technology. So I went to Paris right before the pandemic, and they sent me home. I was supposed to go like 4 or 5 times in 2020. I made it once, but I did a lot of research in the salon, and over about 6 months' time, I was able to test it in many, many different scenarios. I tested it with single processes, a lot of balayage, because that's my specialty, and also on all different hair textures, and I had fantastic results. As I said before, my results with the color, the reflex were so pure, and I never one time had a gloss take muddy. Everything was the way that it was supposed to look, and that says a lot because I was able to really kind of unleash my own artistry as a colorist because I wasn't scared. And with Metal Detox and the 100% accurate results that I got, that's one of the reasons why it's a biggest game changer for me. So I'm doing a similar application, over directing back and away from the face, also painting on the interior. Now, if you can see, my points are closer together in the front and further apart towards the back, and that just gives that French look. And when I say a French look, I mean it's totally customized to the client's haircut, skin tone, where they went to the beach. No, but really, one of the things I love the most about L'Oreal Professionnel is that they have that French concept, and when I think of things that are French, I think of like Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior, and the very top quality products with the best ingredients. This is what I find with all L'Oreal Professionnel products. I have been with the company for, 12 years now, and I've never had to use another color line because the portfolio of lighteners and of color is so vast. It's a huge portfolio in all of the technology. L'Oreal Professionnel has the largest research and development department of any beauty brand in the world. They're the largest beauty brand in the world. And L'Oreal basically invented hair color, right? So Eugene Schuler, let me get a little historical here. He was the founder, and he was a chemist, and he basically invented hair color for the professional. Not to go on the store, on the shelf in the store, but actually for beauty professionals like us. So it is like made specifically for us. And his mission statement was focused around the top of technology. So it's always been a commitment for this brand and its sister brands, to have the top of technology. So L'Oreal Professional is just near and dear to my heart. And now this one, I'm just painting away. Again, I'm gonna leave this piece dark. Again, it's that negative space that really keeps those highlights popping. If you're just joining us, my name is Sebastian Langman-Kirtley. You can follow me on Instagram at Sebastian Colorist. I am talking all about Metal Detox and French Balayage. Metal Detox is such an amazing innovation. It's a product that neutralizes and removes metals from the hair. 87% less breakage caused by metal, and 100% accurate color results. So I'm gonna drop that there. I'm gonna adjust my phone a little bit. Now, you guys, I have my phone vertically. I have my phone horizontally, and I can only see your comments vertically. So please ask questions in the chat, and I will answer them after this is over. So my client's reaction to this product was pretty amazing. I got so many rave reviews because literally, if you look back on my Facebook or my Instagram, you can see after one application that the results are super visible. So people love seeing visible results. And my clients I have wonderful clients, and they really, when I was like, this is awesome, but I can't really tell you what it is, because I had to sign a non-disclosure. They're like, yes, use it on me. And the first thing they said was how amazing the shampoo smelled. And I know you can't smell it here, but this stuff smells absolutely incredible. It has like a botanical kind of a smell. It's very hard to describe, but your clients will love it. And for the past over a year, my clients are like, can I get that stuff? When can I get it? Can I take it home? And soon, very, very soon, it's about to drop. So we have been waiting for this for a really long time. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking 3 check marks. So single points give you the most amount of contrast in balayage. And what I did here with my diagonal forward subsection, just following about 1 inch parallel, each section is going at the same angle. I took out 3 check marks. So I like to work as effectively as possible, and taking out 3 single points and painting them together is a really fast way to paint 3 single points. So I'm knocking out pretty much this whole subsection in one. And what I'm doing here is I'm just staggering them so they're a little bit closer when they're higher up and a little bit further away from the scalp as I go back towards the crown, just pretty much imitating what the sun would do to the hair. So if you would love to try Metal Detox, and you guys, I cannot wait for you to try this because diehard colorists are going to freak out when they see the results of this product. If you want to take home a complete set, shampoo, mask, care conditioner, and the take-home line, which is a shampoo and a mask, just click the link in the description here or go to SalonCentric's Facebook, check the link in the bio, and also on L'Oreal Professional's Facebook as well. So now I'm spreading this product down as I'm working down the hair. My brush is going from that, which is getting me those nice clean points of connection towards the root, to working parallel to the hair when I'm spreading out my product. Pop that right into the center of the planchette. I don't like it to bump up against the top because what happens is you get marks in the hair. But what I love about balayage is that the way that it looks on the hair is the way that it's gonna look when it's all processed. So if I see something that I don't like how it looks, I just go in there and I fix it, because usually I can correct something. I'm known for removing plastic and actually picking a piece out and repainting. So see how here I painted the interior first? This is really cool. And this is how I approach a lot of my money pieces. I know everybody always wants to see the money piece. So the money piece is really, it's the front piece on the dominant side of the part. And right now, everybody is wearing center parts. So my money piece is falling right in the center. Now, having painted the interior first, I can just pull the money piece straight back and away and lie it right over that plastic. I don't have to worry about it falling over onto the client's face. Because nobody wants to get lightener on their client's face. I get lightener in my beard like every day. It's not a good balayage unless I get a little lightener in my beard, but I don't want to get into my client's eyebrows. So painting this way kind of takes a little bit of the stress off of having to work with the cotton. So I'm smoothing this back and away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint multi-points, 1, 2, 3 on the front hairline. I'm going to drop my elevation and slide my tension down, and then I'm going to paint in the interior. So what that does is with lightening all of these ends, it leaves a lovely little nugget of depth right in this area, and all the ends are light, and it's lightened right around the surfaces and around the face, so it gives a lot of pop, but it also gives a lot of dimension. So this is the piece that people pay for. Now, speaking of spending money, Metal Detox is very concentrated, and you can make a ton of profit off of like one bottle of the pre-treatment. The most profitable part for me lies in the fact that it's instant. As soon as that pre-treatment dries into the hair, it starts to work. And the conditioner or the care, whatever you're using at the sink, only has to stay on for a few minutes. So it's really, really profitable. I plan to be charging probably the same as what I would charge for a gloss in the salon. I know some people probably will bundle it with other products. You know, there are a lot of different ways that you can approach this, but again, the product is really concentrated and very, very effective. So, you know, my clients are all pretty amazed by just their own before and afters. I've had clients who have struggled with this issue forever. You know, they come in, they've been trying to grow out their layers on top for like 5 years, and they're still like 3 inches long. And for the first time, I have a long-term solution to offer them that's not just a Band-Aid. So what's different about this is that through the research and development, it was discovered that metal particles actually lodge themselves into the cortex of the hair. Initially, it was thought that they were just on the surfaces of the hair. So a traditional, like a demineralizer will remove the deposits from the surface of the hair, but the ones that are really causing the breakage and the problems, those are inside the hair. And glycamine, which is, now I'm geeking out, glycamine, which is the molecule that makes Metal Detox work, is small enough that it can go right into the cortex of the hair, and it pretty much just wraps around and neutralizes the metal particles, which are then washed away by the dedicated shampoo that purifies the hair. And then whether you choose the Care conditioner, which is a really great conditioner for clients with maybe finer hair, or you use the mask, that will prolong the effects of the product working in the hair. So what I'll recommend is for my clients to take home the at-home user-friendly version of the conditioner and the shampoo, so that can prolong the results between their color appointments. So I'm coming up here, coming up to the top of the head, and what I'm going to do here is I do like to see some striation within the color. I like to see like highlight, low light look on the top, so I'm going to do that same weave out of the 3 single points. I think, you know, what I'm seeing now with hair a lot, I'm noticing that I'm seeing a lot of dimension coming back through. And that is something that I'll date myself. I did grow up in the 90s, so a lot of what we saw late 90s, early 2000s were the multi-tonal highlight, low light, And of course the 90s are back and in full effect, but I think the color is taking a more modernized twist. So by leaving this dimension out here, the depth, I can still have that play on color without it being overly stripy. So here, I've got the most brightness around the face with that money piece, and here I'm just gonna stagger it down from high to low. Again, I've worked halfway through the head and my planchette still looks neat. If your planchette and your brush look messy, your balayage is gonna look messy. So I'm gonna take this subsection. If this was my client, I would have her lowered, but I want you guys to be able to see. So I'm gonna take my bead of product, and my point of connection up here is going to be right at the root. And I'm holding the hair. You can see the angle here, 45 degrees from the scalp. My brush is also angled at 45 degrees from the hair. So 45 degrees from the scalp gives zone 1, and the top is zone 2 the most tension. And when I have my brush, so this is 0 degrees, 90 degrees with the brush, cut that in half, 45 degrees. When I have my brush like that, that's how I can get those nice points close to the scalp without causing like too much of a chunky look or a bleeder that pushes through the hair. So second point, I'm painting about halfway through zone 2, the middle of the hair. That one I stepped back a ½ inch off the scalp, and this one back here on the third, I'm gonna whisk that up. So this back here is about 1 inch off the scalp. Now balayage, you know, if you don't do enough, the client could be like, did I even get my hair done? That looks the same. But if you do too much lightening, too many subsections will take away the whole look because you take away all the depth in the hair. So it's very important to celebrate the Frenchness of balayage and truly customize it and make it a high quality application for your clients. So consultation with the Metal Detox is really key, and consultation in all services is key because clients need to do the talking. So I've got clients that, you know, I can identify metal in the hair because of the texture of it. It feels fuzzy. Or if the top layer of it looks particularly dry and broken, a lot of people just stand like this in the shower for like 20 minutes in the morning. I do, I fall asleep like that. And the water with the metal just goes right into this area. So if I see breakage around here, and I know the client has healthy hair, probably a good chance she has like a metallic deposit. So, you know, I ask my clients with Metal Detox, you know, if I'm consulting with them deciding if I want to do it, I'll ask them questions like, have you changed your water filter lately? Have you ever encountered issues with metal? Do you get an orange ring around your bathtub? Not toilet bowl. I don't bring that into the equation, but that will happen as well. Here it's like at least 75% of the people have metal in their water. So if you're joining us now, Sebastian Langman, currently L'Oreal Professional International Artist, I am showcasing Metal Detox, which is L'Oreal Professional's new baby, completely new and innovative approach to protecting the hair from damaging metals and minerals that we have in our water. It is about to launch to the public very, very soon. We've had so much interest in this product since the premiere of it for the media, and that was just a couple months ago. And the innovation behind this stuff is absolutely incredible. Being in France, I actually got to go and mix the stuff myself in the labs, which was really, really cool. But what I saw was that L'Oreal Professional products are truly, it's like a marriage of science, innovation, and artistry. And it was really eye-opening to be there in the mother city, Paris, really witnessing how it all goes down. All right, so I'm about at the half-hour mark right now, and I'm gonna wrap at 35 minutes, but I wanted to show you another way that I paint my back hairline. By the way, I'm using Blonde Studio Clay, which is like my new best friend. This stuff is so great for painting hair. It was formulated specifically for balayage and freehand techniques. You can also put it in a foil, which is great. I've started doing that for the few foil clients that I have. But it is a clay lightener, lifts 7 levels, and it is absolutely a gorgeous consistency. It's ammonia-free. And 19% natural clay. Most clay lighteners have a lot of polymers. This is natural clay. It smells like roses. It's a luxury experience for your clients, and it gives a beautiful, natural looking result. So now what I've done here is I've taken a subsection from the mastoid, which is right behind the ear, to the center nape. And I usually, for this, I will have my client tilt all the way down, put that phone down, Ellie, and I clip away all of the hair that I'm not highlighting. Isolate that away from where I'm painting. I'm going to paint the entire surface of this subsection and just coat the bottom third of the hair. Now when I'm working with a big brush, chip brush, it looks much more dramatic when it's on the hair because I'm going to paint this whole subsection. This is actually going to give such a beautiful soft effect to the hair. So I'm starting to paint with this. I actually use the flat part of the brush, the middle of the brush, to start my application. When you're working with a larger brush like this, it's actually going to apply more product on the hair, so it's important that you don't overdo it with the product and that you start further away from the root. So I'm painting this entire piece all in one, and I'm dusting this product all the way up to the root. And this is a really, really important area to lighten in the hair because whatever is behind the ears and under the occipital bone in the back is what falls forward over the shoulders. So when you see those beautiful looks that everyone is requesting with all the dimension through the ends, it's never gonna be a partial. I mean, my clients get like maybe 2 fulls a year, but in one of those fulls, I'm going to really, really saturate the underneath of it. So, you know, if I'm short on time in the salon and I have a new client and they bring me one of those pictures where all the ends are lightened and there's just a little bit around the face and a lot of depth here, I'm actually gonna spend more time probably in the back than I am in the front because when they pop the hair over their shoulders forward, this is what they're gonna see. And the money piece, of course. So now that I'm through zone 3 here on the top, I'm gonna bring this down, and I usually try, it'll be hard for you guys to see this, but I usually try to paint a little bit of the interior just to make sure that I get a really nice blend there. Then I just bring that back down on the planchette, make sure those ends are really, really saturated. Go back and forth a few times, especially if it's virgin hair. Really important to saturate the ends. And then I just let it fall forward like that. That cotton will stick in there. And then for an extra pop, what I do is I take a little veil parallel to that subsection, a little veil of hair about a ½ inch wide, running parallel to that back hairline, and I'm going to lighten the entire surface of this as well. And you can imagine what an impact that will give because it's like lightening the entire inch of the perimeter. This is also a great area where you can customize for face shape because if this hair is coming forward over the shoulders and say the client has a Siri's talking to me. Cancel Siri. I can see her little glow. Oh. She's always interrupting conversations. She must have thought that I said her name. Anyway, so if a client has a narrow jaw, you want to put lightness towards the jaw and the chin area, and that opens everything up. So this is an area that you can, again, customize. Bring that French quality to your client's hair, and I try to build client loyalty like that because not everybody thinks of things like that. So I'm going right over my metal detox here. It is totally easy to paint, feels normal, and the great thing is I don't have to do a whole separate step to get the metal detox to work in the hair. It's instantaneous. I'm obsessed with it. I feel like super blessed to have been part of the production, and I can't wait for you to try it, and I cannot wait for it to launch on the market because I'm so excited for this innovation that is truly changing the way that we do hair color. So just a little recap before I end this. Diagonal forward subsections all the way up the head 1 inch wide, painting in 3D, which means we're painting the front of the hairline, one plane, and then behind it, which is 2 planes of the head. And then in the back, I did almost like an upside down ponytail balayage. So